This is a podcast called 25 Whistles Talking Sports. And they all wear a whistle, yeah, it's stupid. But what did you expect? It's a podcast called 25 Whistles. 25 Whistles.
Hey everybody, all right, blow the whistle. We do have Ryan Howard coming up. Phillies are great, so that's cool. We'll talk NBA basketball a little bit as well. The thing that I would never want to do, and I think a little bit it feels like when we made you do the testosterone test, is that I have people racing their sperm. Have you guys seen this at all?
No.
Racing? Yeah.
What? I mean, because they're fast swimmers, right? So what do they?
Well, that's what they say. I don't know fast compared to like us running. They're fast.
Right,
I don't think they're.
but to their
They
version,
swim. Yeah. So they race them.
Wow, that's cool. You want to do it?
I don't. I had to get my sperm checked. I did before my wife and I started trying to have a baby because I was 45 and I was, man, if we're going to like try and like every month wait for that, I need to make sure. And so I did that and it was great. Luckily, thank God.
I'm nervous for you.
Dude, that's crazy. You went in.
It was weird. I was nervous, but it was weird first because you're just yanking it in a room and everybody knows what you're doing. It's bizarre.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wait, you done this?
No, I've never done it. No.
The whole process, because you go and you sit in a room and they're like, all right, Bobby. And they, the person working at the desk meets you. It's like, all right, come on back. And then
Is it a woman at the desk?
At the desk. Yeah, it's not all dudes. It's not like a sports bar.
Man, it's got to be all dudes. Like, it'd be better if it's all dudes that would be like, hey, man, you know what's up? You got to do this.
No.
You know what to do.
Heck no.
And they walk you back and you talk to a second, like, hey, to a doctor or a nurse, another woman.
Oh.
And they call it a sample. And they say, what you're going to do, you're going to go here, your sample. And the whole time you're just going, in my mind, I'm going, you're looking at me and you know I'm about to yank it. And that's weird for both of us. I'm just thinking that in my head, but they do it all the time. It's just yankers all day to them.
Do they know what you're using in there?
Huh?
I'm just saying, them looking at you and being like, not only do you know what you're about to do, but you're about to do it to this.
Oh, do you have something to do it to?
Oh.
Well,
Really?
everybody
Is that like
has
the
a
movies.
But
I just think of the movies where they have the magazines in there or something.
well, everybody has a phone now.
That's true.
But no,
What
I was just curious.
that magazine thing's disgusting.
yeah, using the same magazines? Gross.
No. So you go in, and there's an old radio that you're supposed to turn up. So
they don't hear you?
I guess because I don't know. I picture like because there's like 3 rooms. I guess where they do this, the Yanker Hall is what I was calling it when I was telling Caitlin. It was in Yanker Hall.
Dude, this is crazy.
Yeah, dude. It's a doctor's office. And I have a crazy story too, but
All right, I wanna hear it.
it's not even me. But not only walking down Yanker Hall, but you hear music in the other room, so you know what's happening
They're
in
doing
Yanker
it.
Hall because they only turn the music up when you go in there. And mine was on a class. It was like 4 in a row, Tom Petty. I remember hearing
no,
that.
no.
Classic rock. That's good.
And so then when you're
Good to
done,
see you.
you have your sample, and the inside of the wall is metal. It's like a metal square, and you pull it back and you put your sample in there and you hit a button.
Man.
And then you go out, and you just kind of hang your head in shame as you walk out.
Yeah.
You're just like, I'm done.
Yeah, does anybody make eye contact in there?
So that whole process was odd. I was nervous about the results, but the results came back and is A+. So thank God.
A+, huh?
Is A+.
Nice.
I would have
dude.
told you if it's B-, it's A+.
Wow.
So I was nervous about that, but I didn't get nervous until it was like when I got my ACT results. You take the test. And you wait, you're not really nervous until the envelope gets there, and you're like, oh God, when I pull this envelope, this is gonna be life-changing. And so I got an email saying, hey, your results are on the portal. And I went to the portal, and if it was like sperm count, I don't remember what the classifications were. But if it was like over 10,000, that was good. Over 20,000, that was great. And mine was like, I don't know, 1 million.
Wow. Bunch of guys in there.
Yeah.
I wonder what ours would be, dude.
Who knows?
I think Eddie's would be like dust.
Yeah.
Does the
5.
testosterone have to do with the sperm
I don't know,
count?
dude,
Probably not.
I don't know. But my point was they do sperm races.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you another story. I mean,
I
remind me
wanna-
to
I
tell
wanna
you the
hear
story
the
that came
story.
to my mind.
Okay.
So men of the world are invited to put their sperm against each other in a race where the owner takes home $100,000. The 2026 Sperm Racing World Cup. It's 128 samples, each representing a different country,
Oh, that's cool.
facing off on a microscopic racetrack. I guess it's next month in San Francisco. It's the Kentucky Derby of juices.
What on earth?
But they win $100,000.
No, the payday is awesome. But so, like, do they take just one of your guys and that represents you?
Under a microscope, the competitors will race each other along a customized microfluidic track. I don't know. I'm sure.
And do they put like what's the
Okay, here you go. The entrants are sent a kit which to provide semen sample, which will be mailed back to California and processed through advanced lab techniques such as incubation, sperm washing, pipetting, and through a centrifuge. And I think it isolates and prepares the most viable cells for racing.
Okay, so it gets your fastest.
Finds your
dude.
healthiest horse and puts him on the track.
And then you know how like when you do the dog races, they have flash and dash. Is there like an egg or something that like
Tells them which way to go.
yeah, because how
Yeah.
would the sperm know where it's
Swim too?
going?
Oh,
That's a good point. I don't know. It's $100,000. I wouldn't want to be a part of this.
Nah.
Because I don't want to be last.
Yeah.
Can you imagine your last?
Like-
what?
Oh.
128.
Yeah, the countries. Yeah,
Well, it's not just you, dude. You'd be letting your country down.
That's true.
You know?
it's true. I want to stand up there with my hand on my heart, knowing that my sperm just won me that gold.
Amen.
Uh,
Yeah.
I have a friend, a literal friend, a close friend, who was doing a full physical type thing, and part of it was they were checking his sperm too. And so he does the physical, and they're like, "Hey, we need to do a sperm test." And he's like, "All right." Didn't really know that was going to be part of the physical, and so they give him the cup for the sample, and they just say, "Go on to," and he has to go into like a public bathroom.
What?
He had to, they just pointed him at a stall.
Stop.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
And there are like 3 urinals, 3 stalls, and he's like, he felt like too he could go to jail. Like somebody comes in, and like
Yeah.
there's a dude whacking it in there.
I promise it's for a sample. I
Yeah, he's like,
promise.
no, the doctor.
It's medical.
But he had to do it there.
Dude, heck no.
I wonder what's worse to do, like not knowing it's coming or knowing it's coming.
You probably just want to know it's coming. No pun.
After I said it, I'm like, that's just not a good way to say it.
Yeah, so that's that thing. That's what that race is. That's my story.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Times, man, they're changing. Bob Dylan said it.
They really are.
Times they're changing. So, yeah. Good luck to everybody.
Yeah, all countries.
I mean, just in life, man.
Yeah,
that
we
too,
need
that
it,
too,
dude.
that too.
We need it.
That crap's crazy. Eddie, I have a bunch of stuff from you, but I think have we not already all talked about this stuff?
We have not talked about any of this stuff.
We for sure talked about meeting T-Mac's mom on the other show.
We did, but not on this show.
But again-
which Kevin doesn't know.
If people hear this, they're gonna know about it.
It was more for Kevin because, like, if Kevin would have been there, he would have been like, "What is happening?"
I give you a quick version because a lot of people listen to this. Probably Kevin works in a back room and doesn't get to hear the show as we're doing it. Can you turn a volume up in there?
Yeah, but
your
I'm
room?
also editing all the time, so it'd just be.
But if like something you were just dying laughing, you could flip it up and hear.
Yeah, because we have a TV. So if I see somebody dying laughing, like you just said, then I'll turn the music or the sound up real quick.
We were going into the Arkansas-Texas softball game at Texas, and it was rainy and cold. And I had 4 of 5 tickets on my phone from DJ, who's the hitting coach at Arkansas, my brother-in-law. And we're like, oh, this one ticket didn't go through. My name should be on the list. And so they ended up sending me, oh, the other ticket. Gotcha. Boom. Woman in a Texas shirt next to us was like, hey, do I know you? I was like, and naturally, I think it's from the radio show or any television stuff I've been on. Who knows?
Mhm.
It's a grab bag out there. And I was like, I don't know. And she's like, did you do something in Arizona? And I was like, no. Like, you did a sports thing at Arizona? And I was like, no. And then I started thinking, well, we did. She said, yeah, you talked to my son about his rating on Madden. It was T-Mac's mom.
What?
Yeah.
Sitting right next to you?
No,
no, no.
outside getting tickets.
Oh.
While we were getting it at the box
Gotcha.
office.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
He was at the game because his girlfriend plays on the team
For Texas.
for Texas.
Wow. Did you see him?
No, she FaceTimed with him, but the cell was so bad. I'm glad because she was like, look who I'm with. It was breaking all up. And I was like, he's not going to know anyway. But
Isn't
yeah,
that crazy?
Dang, that is crazy.
We were just
actually.
like, how is this all happening? Like, it's
It's
just
crazy.
random.
yeah.
Yeah.
So T-Mac's mom.
to be in that spot, and she recognized you. That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was like linger looking, and that happens.
All right.
But usually it's, hey, Dancing with Stars, whatever. Breaking My Bones, radio show,
American
something
Idol.
like that.
American
Who
Idol,
knows?
right.
But no, it was that. It was too much access.
Dang. Did she talk about her son's rookie year?
No,
We
she
didn't
did
get into
not.
it. Was cold and wet. Dude, we stayed 4 innings. We were freezing our balls off.
It was cold, man.
We
Really?
had great seats. I think Eddie was able to appreciate like how fast college softball is.
Had no idea. Like baseball, it's just a big field. So like, yes, they're fast, but I mean, you can't really see how fast they are because they're just throwing the ball a long way.
Mhm.
They're running far. With softball, it's so condensed in this small area, dude. It's like pop, pop, pop. Wow, double play. We were like,
It's
what?
yeah, it's crazy.
And the girls hit the ball so hard.
Right. And you remember how hard it was to hit when we did too much access?
I actually enjoyed it. Other than the cold rain, I would have loved being there for the whole game.
It's so much more action than baseball.
Yeah.
And the girls are so positive. Like we're sitting
You
right.
get to talk crap, except you're not talking crap. You're talking positive, but with your team.
Yeah.
Like if you get on second base, you dance. You do baseball. They'll throw it at you next time you get up, or there'll
Right.
be a fight.
Right.
Unspoken rules. You get a hit, you get on first base, like you dance. It's
The whole
awesome.
dugout.
Yeah, it's good.
Did you catch a foul ball?
I
Did see
sure
it?
did. Sure. Well, not technically.
Okay. This is why I'm asking.
Are
I'm
you
like, what's
talking
the
about
real?
this foul ball?
Oh, that one.
Hey!
Wait, what's the what happened?
We're walking, we're walking to the stadium. We're not in yet. And Eddie goes, "It'd be so cool to catch a foul ball." That was all. And then you hear it, and you see a ball come over the stadium and go tink, clink, and start rolling down the sidewalk. And I'm like, "Dude, there's a ball. Go get it." And he's like, "I don't know." I'm like, "Dude, there's a ball. Go get the ball. You wanted a foul ball." So he runs down and gets it. In softball, you have to give the balls back because they only have so many. And it's not a sport that makes money. So
yeah.
Correct.
so someone from Texas comes out and is like, "Hey, did you guys find that ball?" And
Oh.
Eddie's like, "Yeah, here you go." And so she goes back and she says to me, "Hey, this hit the pavement. Does your friend really want this ball or no?"
No way.
And I said, "Yeah." She goes, "I'm going to make sure that it can't be had because if it's scuffed, it's done."
Huh.
And so she came back and she was like, "It's scuffed. He can have it." It was like a 5-year-old.
Dude, I was
Holding it up. I know the picture. You look like a little kid. You're all holding it up.
well because I literally had just said like, hey, what I want out of this game is to catch a foul ball.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All I want.
That
And
is
then,
crazy.
dude, it was like the heavens opened up and that ball came flying over the wall.
I
It was
wonder
awesome.
what. So it was actually from the game. It wasn't like somebody hitting.
No,
like,
it-
in a
No, it was during
practice
the
field?
game. We got there in the first inning.
It was
Okay.
a legit
Yeah,
foul ball.
okay.
Dude, it was so cold. We did not have coats. It shouldn't have been that cold in May in Austin. It had rained all day. It's freezing. We lasted 4 innings. And then we were like, we didn't have, we were freezing our balls off. And we went back to the restaurant and watched it on the phone. But Arkansas won the series 2 out of 3 games.
Nice.
I had a question about that.
Yeah.
So your brother-in-law DJ, he's coach there at Arkansas. We see him, and so we're like, "Love you, DJ. Yeah, go, Coach Gasso." Right? Like, is that appropriate?
It don't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know he's working. Like, we don't
Okay.
want him coming here and banging on the window.
If we did it every inning, every time we walked out, there's DJ.
Yeah.
But he was right below us, and he walked out. We're like, DJ.
we love
Dude, he
you.
loves it. I bet.
Yeah, I mean, there's too much. We didn't do too much.
No, we did not do too much.
So yeah.
Says the guys who did it. We didn't do too much.
We only did it one time.
You have
Oh,
your
that's good.
Celtics stuff on today, huh?
I'm shocked by that.
I know. It's kind of like the Patriots, where I'm surprised they made it this far, and I'm trying to be positive about it.
You're not
You're not
surprised.
surprised. They were really good.
You're
They were really
surprised-
good during their regular season.
You're
I will
surprised
say-
that they're out.
I'm surprised that they're out. Yeah, especially being up 3-1 like that. I'm surprised that Missoula. Look, he's a great coach, awesome coach, but man, like they just never changed anything. They just kept jacking up threes, and they've been doing this. But then he's stopped playing guys that were on his bench that were key guys all year, like the Shiremans, like the Jordan Walsh. These guys didn't really play in the playoffs. The same guys that got you that 2 seed, and he didn't really play them, which surprised me.
They trim up that rotation though when it's playoff time.
They do, but like when you're about to blow a 3-1 lead, like
Yeah.
I don't know, let's try something else here. And then they throw out Shireman and I think Garza for start this game 7. I was like, well, it's a little late now. Now these guys are just gonna be nervous. It's game 7 and now you want to play. So I'm surprised that they really stuck to the guns that much and didn't really switch anything up. But yeah, I can't believe they blew a 3-1 lead.
I'm surprised that you're wearing the sweatshirt. Like I would think, like when the Cowboys lose, they're out. Like they lose in the playoffs, whatever. Like Cowboy stuff is gone for at least a couple months.
yeah.
Because you're embarrassed. Mostly, I just don't want to see it because it makes me feel bad.
Yeah, I mean it's a good point. Don't get me wrong, but the thing's just comfy, dude.
No,
Yeah,
stop.
dude,
Stop.
comfort.
It's just comfy.
outta
You know, it's
here.
raining, and we're just like,
Yep.
comfy.
I agree.
Yeah.
Something we didn't get to talk about was Kevin has 2 kids, has twins, and so I know you're dealing with a babysitter issue. Do you pay a babysitter double because it's twins, or is it like one babysitting job because it's 2, but it's like one. One.
Right.
It's kind of one
Yeah.
because they're twins. Well, what happened?
So last time we talked, I was going to meet her that weekend, I believe, and we met her and her husband. He didn't watch the kids with her, but we just wanted to meet and greet first. She was great. She's a nurse. Talked about that a little bit. And we felt super comfortable with her right away. We're like, all right, this is great. So then the following weekend, last weekend, we went to the wedding. She came over late afternoon, and I was with the kids because my wife was in the wedding. So she had to leave like 3 or 4 hours before me to go do a bunch of stuff. And so I'm sitting there like, okay, she's got to come here. I got to run her through. So we ran her through some stuff, and I left. And this is our first time being away from kids without family watching them. It was awesome. I only got one text the entire time. We were gone for 6 hours. Yeah, about 6 hours. And the only text was, hey, where's your trash can at?
Oh, that's great.
That's it. And she's like, yeah.
Was your wife
that was
nervous?
great. Honestly, she was she handled it way better than I thought she would. Because she's the nervous one for sure out of us two. Like, I'll be like, all right, see you later. Like, I need this break. Or she'll be more of like, I wonder what they're doing. I can't believe like they're just at home with this random girl. But she was great. I think it's because she was in the wedding, so she was so busy and her mind was going, which helped. And she enjoyed the experience. She had a great night. It was a great wedding.
What
Overall,
do you pay?
we paid her $30 an hour.
Oh, I thought it was total. I'm like, dang.
No.
If she's like 13, maybe.
Because we asked her, we're like, what's your rate? We just don't. It was our first time. And she's like, well, first she goes, well, usually I babysit for like people with a lot of money. And we're like,
She said that?
wow.
Wow.
And I'm like,
but then I'm
damn.
here with you now.
I
So
know. And I'm like, well,
I've really dropped a few levels. Yeah.
we're not usual people. So, nah, and she's like, my rate's like 25 to 30. And I was like, all right, we'll pay you 30. Like,
Dang,
because
flex.
2 of them. Yeah. So, yeah, we paid her $30. It was well worth it. Now, could I do that every weekend? Absolutely not.
what was the total?
$200
I heard
for 6 hours.
What do you pay?
Nothing anymore. But I used to pay. It used to come out to like $80.
A night?
Mm-hmm. Gosh, dude.
4 boys?
And then you would like go to
I
dinner.
feel like some child labor laws are being broken. If
Wait,
you're only
I
paying
paid
$80.
$200. You paid $80 for 4 boys?
Yeah, for like 3 hours. You were gone for how many
that's true,
hours?
yeah.
6.
Yeah, 6. So like,
Still,
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, dude, think about going to dinner and spending $125 on dinner and then coming back and giving $80 cash to like a young girl. Like, oh God, it's terrible.
Did you ever have any bad experiences?
No, but this is something funny story is the first time we got a babysitter. I had no idea. So like it's just like Kevin was describing it. It made me think about it when he's like, yeah, they come over and then you're like, all right, here is the fire extinguisher. Like
I didn't do any of that, but
they eat at this time. This is what they need.
Yep.
Whatever they need to go to bed at this time. Whatever.
Yep.
And then I don't know. I wasn't even trying to be funny, but as we were walking out, I'm like, hey, and there's beer in the fridge. Help yourself. Or whatever. And my wife goes, no, don't help yourself to the beer. And I was like, oh, right. Like, I don't want my babysitter drinking. But to me, it was the first time I'd ever done that. And I thought, like, why not? Like, you're here all day. They fall asleep in like an hour.
Yeah.
Have yourself a brew.
Yeah.
Like, well, my wife was like, no, absolutely not.
Did you have food for your babysitter?
Okay, so I asked my wife that morning, I was like, hey, like, should we have food?
Yes.
It hit me that day. I'm like, should we do something with food? I'm like, she's a nurse and she does this all the time. She probably comes prepared. I think she's okay. And I regret it. We didn't get anything. She brought like a bag of snacks and I was like, hey, you're welcome to anything in the fridge, anything in the pantry, whatever. And then she ended up just ordering a pizza. I was like, we should have got her food.
Did you pay her for the pizza?
No.
Yeesh.
You could have.
The move
I
for us
know.
is always to like, all right, we're going to order pizza. It should be here in 10 minutes. And so when we leave, they get the pizza.
Yeah. See, yeah, we should have done that.
You're
I
rookie, it's
regret
fine.
that, but hey, it was the first one, But she's pregnant now, so it's like, okay, well, she's not gonna last very long. We can't use her for long.
Oh, the
The
babysitter's
babysitter,
pregnant.
yeah, told us that
Oh,
she's, early on, but she's pregnant.
You got a few more months at least.
Yeah,
Unless she's sick. That first trimester is tough for a lot of people.
yeah. That's why I was like, oh, okay.
Man,
yeah.
if you find somebody though that you trust, always do the little things like cover their freaking pizza after.
I
Just know, like babysitter, usually you cover their dinner.
yeah, I regret.
Like, and
that
if you
now.
forget, like Bone said, yeah, give her a little bit of money. I'm sorry, I completely forgot. Here's
Now, if you just kind of a sucky babysitter and you just were using her one time because you got to scrape by it, that's different. But if it's something that you really want to be able to use a lot, man, you really got to make them feel valued.
You know what she did? I just thought about it too. She actually did text me, and she's like, "Hey, do you care if I Uber Eat something to your house?" Was that her way of like,
telling you didn't leave me food. You
do you want to order me something?
I don't think so.
Or you think she was just asking just to be nice?
I think she was asking because if for some reason you had a camera or something, you saw a car drive up, you're like, why is there a car at the house? Why is it? Yeah, I just think it's somebody Also, she could be like, maybe you don't want people to know where you live. Maybe you guys purposely don't have stuff delivered to your house. I don't know.
Okay.
Ooh, I wonder if she was asking because of like allergies. Like, do your kids have allergies or whatever? Like, if I Uber Eats something.
Yeah, the kids were asleep by now.
Oh,
By
I
then.
don't know.
But I appreciate that. But overall success.
When do you think you're going to be dealing with this?
I don't know. Soon
Who?
ish. I mean, we don't have any childcare now. We have friends. We only left one time. We had a friend come over. We went to therapy. I don't know.
Hey, man.
How did your wife do? When you're gone for what, an hour or two?
It's only an hour.
But still, it's first time.
I've been gone a lot, so I didn't even think of it as that
Right.
because I'm gone every day. And
had to go to work, yeah.
we were in the car and we were driving. She goes, "This is the first time we've both been gone." I was like, "Really?" She's like,
Because you're always
yeah. She's
going
like,
to
"Yeah,
work.
both of us." Yeah. I was like, "Huh? How about that?" I think she did great. She has a friend that she really trusts that has had a bunch of babies, or I
That's important.
guess a bunch is two. But yeah,
Well, yeah, that's a bunch.
yeah. So yeah, I don't know. We haven't got there yet.
How was your weekend away from the baby? Did you?
Easy. It was easy. Yeah, it was so easy. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It was easy. For a couple of reasons. One, her parents were there, so my fear would have been on her more than anything. Like, she just overwhelmed. So her parents were there, so I was good. That's it.
Yeah, that's good.
That helps.
Yeah.
If you could have family.
If
there.
she's by herself, yeah, and her parents came in, they had planned a long time ago because I told my wife I wouldn't leave for 2 months after she had the baby. This was the first trip that I was leaving on.
Yeah.
And so her parents were like, "Hey, when he leaves," this is like a month and a half ago, "we'll come into town. He's going to be gone for a couple of days. So we'll just come because it'll be time for us to come back anyway. We haven't been there in a month." And so it was planned out a long time ago that they would drive in. So they were there. They got there. We left on Thursday evening. They got there like Thursday afternoon. So I hung out with them a little bit. And it was difficult because we got in Saturday night, but Sunday morning at 3 a.m.
Yeah, super late.
And so I had to be up at like 6:30 with the baby.
Mm.
That sucked, but I did get to say bye to them. And then I'm just now caught up on the week, like where I'm feeling normal again.
Is your father-in-law pumped about the Thunder?
They won last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if he's pumped. I think he just enjoys it. He enjoys having a winner now.
Yeah,
He's,
yeah, it's
'cause
awesome.
He watches every game. I think he was pumped last year. Now, not that it's expected, but there is an expectation because they win all the
They're
time.
pretty
Mhm.
good.
Yeah.
Right?
Really good.
So the Lakers didn't look bad last night.
Yeah, Thunder are just so good.
They're just so good. They just
So good.
they suffocate you defensively.
Yeah.
And Chet played really well last night.
And Jalen didn't even play, right? Williams, one of the Williams.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
I just
like-
saw him on the bench in the street clothes.
Then that means he didn't play.
That would mean he didn't.
That
play.
is true.
I'm gonna bet he didn't play if he's in street clothes. All right, let's break and we'll come back with Phillies first baseman, former Phillies first baseman, stud Ryan Howard. All right, we're gonna welcome in Ryan Howard, Phillies legend, 2008 World Series champion, 2006 National League MVP, Rookie of the Year, really one of the greatest power hitters of me watching baseball. He has a new podcast now with another Phillies legend, Jimmy Rollins, called the 611 Podcast. If you love baseball, if you love the Phillies, check it out. Ryan is here now. Ryan, first question. How much does a manager actually matter? And I think you know where I'm going with this.
Well, Bobby, I'm going to say that I don't know where you're going
Okay,
with this.
all right.
But a manager does matter. I think the manager has to keep the mood in the clubhouse nice and calm and easy. I know with well, I'm gonna let you take it there. I'm not gonna get ahead of you, but with a manager, it's just doing that.
With the Phillies firing Rob Thompson and Don Mattingly taking over, can there be a culture change? I know we're not mid-season, but early enough in the season that it actually affects team play?
I mean, there can be a culture change. I think that obviously with what's kind of taking place with the Phillies, it's, the guys were kind of underperforming. I don't really know what was going on in the clubhouse. Usually when there's something like that that's taking place, there's got to be some kind of change. And usually a lot of the time the manager's the first one to kind of take the heat. So players also have to be accountable. I've been on teams, that have had bad stretches and the manager kind of takes the heat for it all. But, players also have to take accountability. And that was one of the things that, I remember when I was kind of going through a stretch like that as a player, it's like, hey, what are we doing? Right? We've got to try to do better and be better. That team is just way too talented to have kind of underperformed the way they have. But luckily, hey, it's April. The Phillies' history in April is not the best, but Hey, that's why you've still got a lot of season left, and it's a marathon, not a sprint.
How do you feel about the ABS system?
The ABS system I think is great. Um, Actually would have loved to have it when I was playing, probably would have knocked down some strikeouts or whatnot. But I think what it's all about is about getting the calls right. And I don't think it's tough for umpires to not take it personal. You can understand that. But I think ultimately it becomes a tool to where everybody can get better and you get a full understanding of what the strike zone is and a consistent understanding of what the strike zone is. I think the umpires are going to continue to get better with that. Um, Catchers, the pitchers, the hitters, once everybody gets a better understanding of what that strike zone is and being able to utilize it and the challenges, right? Now all of a sudden you're implementing these challenges and you got to be strategic with these challenges because you don't want to necessarily use your challenges up too early in the game. Um, if you miss them. So I think it's a cool addition to the game, where it's just all about trying to get things right because it can change the flow of a game one way or the other.
I think it's fun too for fans because it gives us something like, ooh, it's almost like that cup thing where it's like, which ball's under the cup, and they start spinning the cups, and you got to watch it between innings. Like it's a little bit of that,
Yeah.
but like game affected. What I do like about it the most, though, is the people that are running that system are live in the umpire's ears. So even when people aren't challenging it, they're telling the umpires like, "Hey, you're a little outside today. Like you're a little inside." So the real game feedback, I think, is great for the game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, you just want to have the consistency and you want to have the right call so that ultimately you get into a situation where now it's like the players can determine the game. Um, you don't want to have it be where there's a big situation where a team's got runners on and they're either down and they can tie the game or they can go ahead, and then the umpire makes a call and it ends the game and ultimately can end a season or do something like that. But again, you've got to be smart with your challenges because if that team goes and uses those challenges up early in the game to where you get to that situation and all of a sudden we need that challenge and we don't have it, then you're just, hey, you're at the expense of the umpire, and those guys are out there trying too. So they're human. They're gonna make mistakes, but it happens in a blink of an eye, and you're just trying to do the best they can out there.
Was there a version of what the Dodgers are doing now in the National League when you were playing? Not the same, but like they just spend all the money and have all the players. Was there one of those teams when you were in the league?
Not really. Not really. I mean, the Dodgers always had, great rosters and talented players, but not to the extent of what they've been able to go out and go do now. Um, but I mean, yeah, I mean, if you had to look at a team, you'd have to say that team was the Yankees, even though they were in the AL.
The Braves may be the team that could play with the Dodgers. You feel like anybody in the NL can actually make it to the World Series other than the Dodgers?
Yeah, there's teams. It's going to be tough. I mean, look, with what the Dodgers are doing and how they're playing right now, um, it's very hard to overlook them. But again, you mentioned it, the Braves. The Braves are playing really well at a very, very high clip. This is the first time in, however many years that the Braves have been fully healthy and had, their horses on the field all at the same time. I mean, you're getting great hitting, you're getting great pitching. They're just playing great all-around team baseball. Um, Sneakily kind of back on the radar, man. Look, it's a little bit of a long shot, but these guys are playing great baseball too. You can't necessarily overlook the Cardinals. It's just all about who's playing good ball at the right time. Um, I think the Phillies, get back on track, but um, with anything and any team, Dodgers included, like you've got to stay healthy over the course of the season. The Dodgers have so much depth. You could probably afford to have guys, go down at some point, but when it comes to September, October, like those later months, you've got to be healthy to be able to make it and make a big run in the postseason. So it's going to come down to a lot of that as well.
How would you get out of a slump?
I would usually try to, it depends on what I was doing. I mean, I think a lot of the times if I was pulling the ball a lot early on, I would try to just kind of back the ball up a little bit more and let it get a little bit deeper. Maybe take a couple ABs and just tell myself, hey, I'm going to jam myself no matter what and try to kind of stay back up the middle of the field. And so by doing that, it's allowing me to let the ball travel and watch the ball and track the ball a little bit more into the bat. And then as I start to make that contact, then I can kind of start to push my contact point forward just a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, and then boom, all of a sudden there it is. And then starting to work my way back in the middle of the field, left center, right center, and to left field.
Would there be at bats where you're going up knowing you're just trying to get yourself out of a slump, no pressure to actually get on base, you're just trying to like progress a bit?
Yeah, sometimes you got to say, you know what, no matter what happens here, I'm just going to chalk it up because this is what my focus is right now. So it may take me a couple of bats to let the ball travel. As long as I can start tracking the ball again the way and get my timing down the way I want it to, I know that it's going to start to come back and then I'm going to start squaring balls up. But these next two, maybe three at bats or whatnot, depending upon what the situations are, is I want to let the ball kind of get deeper on me and start trying to track it and kind of catch it if I can.
I'm an Arkansas baseball fan. Missouri
Mhm.
State, low, like quietly, they're freaking good. They're always they're those boys fight. Like when you played for Missouri State, was it the same kind of team?
Oh, yeah. Great program. I think it's a very underrated program. We would always play Arkansas every year, Mizzou, Kansas, schools like that. Now they're playing, they're playing the big boys every year. Still playing those guys, playing Oklahoma State yearly. Um, it's always been a very gritty program. Um, I mean, the guys that come out of there, just you look at Drake Baldwin. We've had some guys, Jake Berger, Luke Voigt, like a lot of guys that have uh, come out of there. Brad Ziegler and I played together. We were there at the same time. So it's a program that is a very hardworking program, and it's still, I think, on the up and up.
How much time did you spend in the minors? Did you do the whole travel around on the bus thing?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We were, what was it? Started out once I got drafted, Batavia, New York, in the New York Penn League, and then went to South Atlantic League, Lakewood, New Jersey, where we had, I think at that time we were the furthest team north, and we would travel down to Georgia, South Carolina, Georgia, 17-hour bus rides. So, yep, got the full experience, and I was in minor leagues for 3.5 years. I got September call up in '04, drafted in '01, September call up in '04, and then '05 was um, started out in AAA, and then Tommy got hurt and went up for a little bit, went back down when he came back, and he got hurt again and was out for the rest of the season, and then was up the rest of the year in '05, and the rest was history.
Your call up moment, was it pretty cool? Or they tell you just like, hey, you're up, you're heading out?
Nah, it's always cool, man. They understand, like, this is what you work for. This is a dream come true. And I mean, I understood um just the opportunity, right? Where I understood that Tommy was hurt for, he was going to be on the back then they called it the DL, but like the IL for like 2 weeks. So I knew I was only going to really be up for 2 weeks until he came back, but was really just going to try to go up and just do the best that I could and soak it all in. And once I got up early on in '05, and then like late in '04 was really like looking at like, okay, this is the big leagues. Like this is awesome. Like this is what you aspire to. So having that opportunity was amazing.
When you got up, was there anyone you thought it was really cool to actually see in person that you had watched as a kid?
Oh yeah, everybody. Just the whole experience. I was like, when I first got called up in September, I think we went, Gavin Floyd and I were same draft class, and we both got called up September of '04. And I think our first road trip was to Atlanta. And you're in the minor leagues, so like you get to the hotels, like you're bunking up with somebody, right? You got a roommate. And we get in, we checked in at the hotel, And I walk in and I'm looking and there's like a king bed in there. And I'm just like, wait, we don't have roommates. So that was cool for me. I was like, oh man, we don't have roommates. We get our own room. Oh, this is amazing. So, that was kind of the first part of getting up there. But I think just seeing all the guys that you've grown up watching, um, and now you have the ability to be able to step on the same field and play with and against some of these guys was an amazing feeling.
Is it the 611 podcast because you guys numbers? Because that's not the area code. Is it what?
The funny part about it is that yes, it is our numbers because I was number 6 and Jimmy was number 11, but it's also and we didn't necessarily realize it at the time, but it's also the street exit for Broad Street in Philadelphia. So the whole thing just kind of came together with like that, and it just all made sense.
When you guys do your podcast, I'm assuming you're like across the board with baseball, right? It's not just Phillies stuff, but it's you guys both played for the Phillies, so you have very in-depth knowledge of the Phillies. But you're talking to other players and like clubhouse stuff, right? Inside baseball.
Yeah, there's definitely the baseball base, but we definitely talked to entertainers, rappers, other baseball players from other squads. We've talked to business moguls, entrepreneurs. So we diversify the portfolio. So we definitely have the baseball talk, but we definitely want to have the outreach of being able to reach different genres and different people.
Final question for you, and I was a big fan of yours while you played. But do people ever come up to you and go, "Hey, you're that dude from The Office"?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've had some people I'd go get coffee in the morning sometimes and they would recognize me more so from that than ever playing baseball. They wouldn't have known that I played baseball, but they were like, "Hey, you look familiar. Like, have you been on The Office?" And I did a couple other shows where it was like, Always Sunny and then Entourage. And so it was just funny because people would recognize me more so from some of those than actually playing baseball.
The Office thing was legit though because you actually acted a bit because you had the role of like, "Hey, I got this script." Like it wasn't just like you showed up and it was a cameo. You actually acted. Did you prepare for that or were you just good at it?
I mean, there was a little bit of preparation, but they made it easy for me. It was me basically kind of, being myself. And yeah, there was a script. So, if I can't be myself, then I don't know what I'm doing. But it was easy. They made it so smooth and effortlessly, like fun. I mean, that was the first thing. The guys were like, "Hey man, just be yourself, have fun, like say things how you would normally say it." And that's all we're gonna do. We're gonna have some fun with this, and that was it.
Well, I really appreciate the time and I hope everybody checks out the 611 podcast. Ryan Howard, you guys follow him too on Instagram, Ryan Howard _006. Really appreciate the time. And again, I was a big fan. I'm a massive Cubs fan. We weren't in the same division, so that was good. So I could be a fan. But yeah, you were fun to watch, Ryan. So I really appreciate the time.
Bobby, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me on.
All right, let's welcome in Mike Vorkunov, national NBA reporter for The Athletic, basketball business reporter, someone who I look to whenever I can't really understand how the NBA works behind the scenes. He also hosts Business Decision, which is a podcast he does where he breaks down all of this, the intersection of sports, money, power. So be sure to go check it out. Mike, really appreciate you jumping on. I do want to talk about tanking first if you're ready to tackle that with me.
Sure. I was going to say, I don't know if I always understand how the NBA works, but I'll give it a try.
Yeah, that's what I need help with because I've read the meaningful changes from Adam Silver about tanking. Like, what are we doing here next year?
Basically, they're going to try to find a way, or they think they found a way where they can kind of, try to incentivize teams to be better versions of themselves, right? Let's put it like that. And instead of trying to be as bad as they can be to maximize their lottery odds, like they will, this Sunday when we got the latest draft lottery coming up, they're changing the odds basically where you're trying to be middle bad instead of horribly bad and hope that when it gets to March and April, you're trying to win more games than you are just like benching all your best players. And we see an elevated version of college basketball in those months.
When I was reading about it when it first came out, it definitely was if you're the worst, you have worse odds. It's weird to say worse versus better, but your odds aren't as good to get the first pick if you're the worst team to incentivize, those teams not finishing last. But then what if you literally have the absolute worst team and you need to get one of those top picks?
Well, yeah, that's the problem with this. And I think this is something that there have been complaints about, even this current lottery system, which is that they watered down the odds for the worst teams. And, some people said, like, hey, isn't the whole point in the draft to give the best prospects to the worst teams, right? To try to make them better. And I think that you could argue, like, hey, there's a reason that some of these teams, like the Jazz and the Wizards, are in the lottery for longer periods of time, is because they're not getting the top picks, so they're not getting the best players, and so they're just worse for a longer period of time. And this probably will not solve it, right? Like if you're authentically bad, let's say that, right? You have lost with integrity because you are just really bad at putting out rosters, and you're the worst team in the league. This is not going to help you. It's trying to stop the teams that are tanking, not the teams that are just like bad by their own, bad decision making.
I was looking at all the number one picks over the past few years, and I really felt bad for the Atlanta Hawks. Like, they finally get the number one pick, and it's like the one year that it's not a player that would actually change an organization.
Yeah, timing is so much of it too. Like, it's funny this is happening now because all the smart draft people say the next two drafts are not going to be that great either. So it could be another version of that situation like the Hawks had. If you had, the number 2 pick in 2020, the Warriors had that, and it's James Wiseman, right? Like, imagine if they got a great number 2 pick and how that team would have looked now. So timing matters so much. So when you're bad really matters. There's just so much that goes into it. Not to mention the MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, was the number 11 pick. Jokic was the second round pick. Like, Giannis, number 15. All great players come from everywhere.
Let's talk expansion. Are the Seahawks? Excuse me, the Seahawks, the Supersonics, are they going to exist again?
They very well may. It is looking like the NBA is going down the road for expansion. So the Sonics, maybe a team in Vegas. I don't know. Maybe though, I don't know what that nickname is going to be. But like the NBA is looking at it. It looks like they're trying to get a good price for teams there. And this is the closest they've ever come to expansion. They've been dancing around it for so long. But I think we'll know an answer. We're in May, like I would say by the end of 2026, we should know where that's going.
A lot of the Las Vegas talk has been possibly LeBron would be part of an ownership group in Las Vegas. Do you think the NBA would allow a guy to play and also be part owner?
Well, they definitely won't allow that. That's part of their CBA and their rules. And, LeBron seems like he's out on it too. My colleague and I, Joe Varden, we reported earlier this spring, like, he's out on trying to get an expansion team. And it had been something he had wanted for so long, right? And he talked about publicly for so long. But the firm that he's a partner in, Fenway Sports Group, which owns Liverpool and the Red Sox, they're out on trying to get an NBA expansion team. So LeBron for now is also out on trying to get one.
You hear from a lot of people, I feel at times ill-educated people, about how the ratings of the NBA have dropped so much. But I think for me, what I've been able to see is people are consuming the NBA differently. And I could be completely wrong. What are your thoughts on the NBA and just generally ratings talk?
I'm tired of it, honestly, for a lot of reasons. One is the ratings don't matter, right? Like, the ratings were down and the NBA still got this behemoth $76 billion media rights deal, despite all that. And now ratings are up this year, and that's for a number of reasons. One of them is that there's a lot of games on NBC, and it's easier to watch games on NBC than it is on TNT. The other, there's some inflation going on with Nielsen ratings and how they count it. But honestly, like, if you're an NBA fan, just watch the basketball or don't. Who cares how many other people watch the basketball or don't? I feel like this is wholly individual to the NBA as opposed to baseball and to the NFL and hockey. Like, sometimes just enjoy the sport that you like, and who cares who's along for the ride with you.
To me, when that headline comes up and those stories come up, it feels a bit like whenever the story is that a movie studio paid $400 million to make the movie and only made $230 million back. Like, that's so inside. It's like, I don't know. Do my friends like watching the movie? I really don't care how much the movie studio spent on the movie and how much it made back.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's their money and not yours. If it was a good movie, that's, then you liked it. And if not, like, you don't and you move on. I don't know. That's the same thing. I think there are better questions to be had about the state of, like, what the actual on-court product looks like and where that's going and how, and tanking and how teams are built than there is about the rating stuff.
I was reading an article about shoes and how, some of these shoe companies aren't selling as many shoes, especially basketball shoes, because of one of the theories was limited star power. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's interesting. I think it kind of like, I mean, not to bring it back to the ratings thing, but it's also just about it's harder to build stars nowadays, right? There's the monoculture that everyone talks about, so it's harder to break through. So it makes sense that if you're depending on on stars to sell shoes, and it's harder to build a star, then it would be harder to sell shoes, right? And I think just looking at that, that whole business, it seems like everyone's kind of trending towards athleisure and all that, and you know, influencers are now selling shoes or selling apparel and all that. So I think everyone is just looking for different places to have sponsors sell their products. And so maybe the sponsorship for an NBA player just doesn't go as far as it used to.
It feels like if I were thinking about it now, like whose shoe would I want? It honestly would be Caitlin Clark, and that's crazy to say because like I don't play women's basketball. I'm not a woman, but if it's pick a star who'd put out a shoe that you genuinely, because I'm a shoe guy, I think I would like the Caitlin Clarks. I think she almost transcends all the dudes that aren't that we'll say last generation that still play the Stephs, the LeBrons. Because the new guys, you're right, everything is so fractional now. It's so hard to be famous generally in media, in basketball, in general. And like Caitlin Clark has a bit transcended that. Am I insane?
No, I think you're totally right. Whenever her signature shoe drops, like I bet that's going to sell a lot of pairs. Like the Sabrina Ionescu shoe, super popular, right? Like both among NBA players, you see a lot of NBA players wearing the Sabrinas on the court, and then also just selling to folks too in stores. And so Caitlin's probably one of the biggest, most famous athletes in America, period, right? So why wouldn't she be the great person to have a great selling signature shoe?
I know you used to work with the Knicks. They're pretty good. Like, are you a Knicks fan? I know you worked covering the Knicks. Do you like the Knicks?
I grew up in the New York area, so I was a Knicks fan growing up. But then when you start covering the Knicks and you're covering sports, that gets sucked out of you real quick. But I'm a fan of MSG. I think that arena is great. So like, I was there for game one for Knicks Sixers, and that was an awesome place to be. And that place was awesome when the teams I covered when they were horrible, and the place was still like thriving in the fourth quarter of a tight game.
Yeah, that was like a 39-point win, right? That game one.
I mean, that was wild. That was blowout. I did not expect that.
That is a team, though, like the Sixers, and you can give me your opinion. They just played 7 games. So usually game one after a 7-game set usually doesn't end well for that team that just played 7. But a 39-point defeat, that's a bit disheartening if you're a Sixers player.
Well, yeah, and like the Knicks are rolling right now. I was looking it up after that game. They've got the largest 4-game margin of victory ever in NBA playoff history. Like they're doing things over the last 4 games that teams just have not done in the league before. And so, how long does that last? Because if you're going to win every game by 30, you're probably winning the title, right? Like it's just they're on this hot streak that we haven't seen.
What's with the Knicks? And I'll just sit here for a second because I'm so curious. Ownership to coaching. It feels like it'd be a tough place to have to work under that ownership group. What your thoughts for working under that ownership group?
I mean, that's a really tough job for them. James Dolan is a demanding owner. He is a very peculiar owner. He already set the expectations for that team for this season when he set out. He thinks it's a title-winning team, so you know where that's going, right? Tom Thibodeau got the team the furthest it's gone in 25 years last year and got fired anyway. So Mike Brown knows the expectations, and New York is a demanding place. And I think, I mean, look, you get a lot of resources, but man, you're walking a tight ship there. I think you gotta get what the owner is looking for.
It's interesting that East is so, I'm going to say, wide open now because I don't think anyone expected the Celtics especially to blow that series like they did. But the Knicks, a real shot. It's interesting. The Pistons, a real shot. Who do you think comes out of the East?
I still give the 76ers a real shot. Like, I know they got blown to smithereens in game one, but that happened in the Boston series too. And to your point, like they talked about it afterward. They're going from highly emotional, high leverage game 7 to game 1, 48 hours, I think took a lot out of them. So I'm kind of curious to see what they're going to do tonight at MSG. But I think it's between the Pistons, the Knicks, and the 76ers to come out of the East.
Yeah, I guess I just don't trust Embiid ever to even show up for the game, and it's just something's wrong, and it's not his fault. Like his appendix ruptured. So, but yeah, if Embiid plays, yeah, I agree that the Sixers are really good. I just don't have any trust that he's going to show up and be able to play most games.
No, I mean he arrives to NBA games in one of those boxes labeled fragile, right? Like, but then when he plays and he takes the court and you watch him move pregame and you're like, how's this guy gonna do it for 40 minutes? And then somehow he does. And when he plays, he's just a huge difference maker. But you don't know if he's gonna play, if it's a 7-game series, all 7, or this is the last game he plays.
One final question: How many more years do you think LeBron has?
That's a tough. I feel like before this year, I would have guessed none. But I feel like the way that this year has gone, he's going to tack on another year after this.
He's been the Lakers. I mean, he won that series. That it was him, right? Because I mean, Austin Reeves, none. Luka, none. So it definitely was LeBron. Hachimura. I don't know if you count that, but LeBron was the dude. So yeah, do you think he does a farewell tour? LeBron loves the adulation. Does LeBron announce it?
I feel like it because then you could just he'll all the companies he partners with just like leverages into this long farewell tour. Nike does a whole thing. He can record it behind the scenes. I mean, like when was the last time someone just suddenly shockingly retired a star of that magnitude? It was like I think it was probably Tim Duncan, I want to say. Like Tom Brady tried to just up and quit, and then he had to do it again anyway.
Really appreciate the time. Business decision with Mike Vorkunov, and you do such a great job. And thanks for hopping on with us and teaching us a few things. Because sometimes, man, that I still don't think that the tanking thing is going to work. I don't know how you fix the tanking thing though. Like I don't have a good idea. It's not like I'm sitting here from the rafters going, I know how to fix it. I don't know how to fix it.
I mean, it's a trial run. They're going to run it. They already said it. They're like, look, and we're going to do this for 3 years, and in 2029, we're going to see what works and try it again. And if maybe there's expansion and they have to put a new thing out there. So I don't know that they're thinking it's a long-term, this fixes everything solution anyway.
All right, check out Business Decision. Hey, Mike, thanks for the time. See you later, man.
Bye. Thanks for having me.
All right, that'll do it. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate you listening to the podcast. Appreciate you leaving comments down in the comments. If you're, listen to this on Spotify, leave a comment down there that helps us. I don't know, maybe we'll be back this week, maybe we won't. It's just a weird time. There's nothing going on.
Yeah.
NBA playoffs.
And it's going to last forever.
Well, I'm closer to football is when it really starts rocking. You got to hear us have to do an NFL show and when there's nothing going on.
Yeah, but that's tough.
We're like, what's your favorite dinosaur?
Yeah.
Team logo.
It's like,
That's tough.
yeah.
Drafting
that gets
team logos.
That gets to be
But the
tough.
draft was probably fun for a little bit.
What's the most fun letter? We do that for 30 minutes. We're like, all right, we'll see you next
Just
week.
go through the whole alphabet.
All right, that's it. Well, we'll see you guys soon. Thank you very much. Thanks to our guests. Thanks to you guys. Blow the whistle. All right, bye, everybody.